giving you guys resources. Jared T. Ross, he is a resource in the crypto game. You know what I mean? So we're here. NFTs. This is what y'all asked about. This is what y'all want to know about. I have questions. Elise has questions.
I got a lot of them.
Moody has questions. So we brought him on here. Unbroken Mindset. We're back at it again. Dropping the gems, dropping nothing but the knowledge for the people who want to know. What's good, Jared Ross?
So I'm gonna just give a brief. I'm not gonna do a background. I'm gonna let him do his own background. For anybody that is trying to navigate, build, profit in this metaverse with crypto, NFTs, VR, anything that you need, Jared Ross is the guy that you need to be contacting. I follow him. I've been asking him crazy questions. I've been seeing the stuff that he's been posting and knowledgeable. I mean, straight knowledge. So without further ado, and I appreciate Moody because Moody was the one that brought you to my attention. And ever since he did, nonstop. I have been watching your work, following your work, and I appreciate you for the things that you post on a daily basis. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you introduce yourself and let's get it.
Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Jared T. Ross, and I am your metaverse business consultant. That means I am here to guide, help you build, and help you profit inside of the metaverse of cryptocurrency and especially NFTs. The space is insane, and I have been diving deep into it. But once you get into it, it's very hard to look away because it's very, very obsessive and it moves incredibly fast. So I'm open to any questions y'all might have and open to help in any way I can.
So I guess I'm gonna just go ahead and ask, where do you get your research from? Like, I mean, I gotta know. I have to know. Your research is insane. Like you're on top of every NFT that's about to drop. You're on top of the best NFTs, it seems like. How do you know? Where are you researching this at?
And also, could you explain to some of the people who don't know what an NFT is?
Yeah, let's do that first.
Yes. Let me start by first saying I used the term metaverse earlier, and sometimes people just throw that out without defining it. I always find it helpful to build some context around it. And I like to relate it to the internet. When we think about the internet, we would never say that the internet is any one particular app, any one particular website or social media network, or even one particular internet service provider. Instead, the internet is all the interconnectedness between those things that form that one unit, the internet. So when we think of the metaverse, a lot of times we think of it as the world like Ready Player One. And that certainly is an image of the metaverse, but the metaverse can be understood more as a collection of all the technology that goes into something like a Ready Player One world. Things like cryptocurrency, the blockchain, NFTs, and all that technology that connects those things. So that's the metaverse, broad overview. And we talk about NFTs, that is a non-fungible token. It's basically just a uniquely identifiable digital asset that you can track the ownership of and you can track the validity of and see if that's actually the true version of that. Because people all the time, they'll say, oh, these are just pictures. I can just take a screenshot and have it. Yes, that's true. But just like you can go to a museum and take a photo of the Mona Lisa, it doesn't degrade the value of the Mona Lisa. And you can't say that you now own the Mona Lisa. But when you have an NFT, you can show people in your wallet that you own this particular NFT. And the NFT can be used to get you access into different places in real life and the internet. It can be used to sell for profit, or it can be just used as a status symbol. Now, to answer the question on where do I get my research from, there's a lot of different places. I do plan on making a masterclass on how I research and find these NFT projects early, and then how I look at them and judge them to see if this is something I really want to get into. So one of those first sites is called rarity.tools. And on Rarity Tools, it's typically a website where you can check a project's rarity within each project. So a lot of these profile picture projects with 10,000 versions of an NFT built off of a base character will end up on Rarity Tools. And so if you buy one of those NFTs, you can then go look up your particular NFT on this website to see how rare your version is. Now, a great feature of Rarity Tools is they have an upcoming section on the top of their website, and you can have a whole calendar that just lists all these different NFT projects that are coming in the upcoming days. Now, what I always look for, number one, is I'm looking for a project whose visuals I actually like. That's number one. You always want to choose to get into something that you actually like to look at, because if the project goes nowhere, at least you have something that you like to look at. That's my first filter. As I'm scrolling through, I'm saying, okay, what art do I like, and what art is showcasing that the artist put in a lot of effort? Because you have all these 2D ones, which are sometimes really good, but you have those other artists who go a step further and create a 3D NFT, that it has an extra layer to it that makes it more valuable in my eyes and makes me appreciate the art more often. And by the way, a side note, I'm talking a lot about art-based NFTs, but any product or service can be
So
integrated.
would you think like Satoshi art? Would that be your 3D based NFT?
I don't think I've looked at that one.
That's Satoshi art would be Waka Flocka's NFT platform that he has. They're Ethereum based. They're worth 0.1 Ethereum, and he's got some of the so-called premier artists in the I guess in the US or the world, and they've come together on his platform and they've put them out. Some of them are actually pretty dope.
Oh, I haven't seen. Look, and that's the thing. Like, there's these big
It's
projects.
crazy.
Catch all.
Yeah.
You just not gonna catch all of them. So that's something you got to get comfortable with, is missing out on some opportunities because you're focused on these other ones. But yeah, make sure to find something that you like, and then the next step is you always must go through a project's website. You got to look it over. You got to see, okay, what's the backstory? Because a lot of these are going to have backstories that kind of create this their own little universe. And then you want to read the roadmap to see what type of additional bonuses you're going to be getting as a holder of that NFT, and where they really just plan on taking that project. And that roadmap can really inform your decision on whether or not you want to get into that project. Another great thing to look for is the founding team. Right now, what we're seeing is that a lot of teams behind an NFT project don't actually show their real identity. They hide behind their avatars, and hey, sometimes that's okay, and these projects are really, really good. Other times, they don't really care about the longevity of the project, and they just want to make that money quick and maybe make some people way, but they're not really in it for the long haul. A green light in my eyes is when a founder or team are willing to get in front of a camera, like the Moon Boys, for example. Their founding team is very active and transparent, so I can see their face, I know who they are, I know what their names are. That is a green light in my book, and a massive one. So if you can see the team behind it, and even better, if you can see their track record, that they have some context and history in the space, that's a very good sign that it's a project that you want to get into and be a part of.
So I know I have a lot of people that have asked me questions that are like up and coming artists and rappers and singers and stuff like that. A lot of people that's in the music industry, if they're trying to, I don't know, get started in doing NFTs, what would you recommend? What path would you recommend them getting started on, and as it pertains to music?
Music artists, number one, I would recommend that you go out and you get an NFT of your own. What we're seeing right now is that a lot of these big name artists are selling NFTs, but they're selling them on their own platform, where like they actually are working with these other companies to build custom made websites. That's typically going to be a lot more expensive and a lot harder for a less known artist. So you first need to go and buy your own NFT. And I don't necessarily recommend going and getting it from one of these big websites that allow you to pay in just US dollars, because it kind of taints the true NFT experience. Now, that true NFT experience is going to be one where you're paying in cryptocurrency, or you're paying in Ethereum oftentimes. So I recommend that you go on a website like Rarible or OpenSea, find something that you like, ideally something music related, and you buy into that project so that you have the context and you can know what to tell your fans to expect when you start releasing your own NFT project. But once you have purchased your own NFT and you have some context around it, then you need to go to a whiteboard or a piece of paper, and you need to sketch out what you want the structure of your NFT project to look like. A popular one right now for something like music would be having 3 or 4 tiers. At the top tier, you have the hero NFT. Like that's the big main one. That's the most desirable. And you put that up for auction. And then on those tiers below, you continue to decrease the price and increase the number of copies that are available. That's a very common structure for an NFT project.
Okay, I think I'm trying to see if this is public. A couple of people are saying they can't see it.
Is it it's definitely public.
It's public?
Yeah, it's public.
Okay.
It's definitely public.
Okay. Please, please add me.
I guess they're trying to be. If they have questions, tell them to put their questions inside of the chat or inside of the comment box.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely public.
Okay.
I made sure I did it right this time.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
So,
hey, real quick. So, like at least since we're on the artist part of it. So if someone hasn't, like you were saying, it's best to go ahead and purchase an NFT. If you haven't purchased an NFT and you want to create your own and mint your own on, say, Reable or OpenSea, what if the person has enough knowledge behind the NFT and he's an artist? What would you recommend them to just go ahead and start creating their own NFT?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead and just purchase it. When you're saying purchase it, it's just to be able to be informed on what are the capabilities that artist can do.
I see what you're saying. The reason why I recommend an artist before, even if they know all about NFTs, if they've never purchased one, I don't think they should go out and start selling them, because here's what's going to happen. They'll offer it for sale, but they won't understand the customer journey that people are going to go through. And because they don't understand that customer journey, having gone through it themselves, they might miss steps, might miss instructions that are going to be critical for launching that NFT. Because part of launching an NFT, especially if you're not already in that niche, is you have to educate your audience on how the heck to do it themselves, on how they can purchase your NFT. So if you don't have that context, if you can't make a tutorial video, then you either need a team who does know how to do that, or you need to learn to do that yourself.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Also, I just wanted to give you I also want to, and we discussed this previously, as far as creating your NFT as a artist, and I want to use the Tory Lanez ones as an example. Most of the NFTs that we look up, they're backed by some type of crypto, but the Tory Lanez one wasn't backed by crypto. It was more based like what you said. It's just a website they put together and they dropped it in this wallet and you were able to view it. So my question is, how do you view the difference between what could be a possible good project, or because there's so many being printed out right now. So I guess the question I'm asking is, what's the difference between one backed by crypto and one that's just backed by the artist, the value of the artist's name?
Well, let's get clear. What exactly do you mean when you say backed by crypto?
So like, say, for example, you have Solana NFTs. They're backed by the blockchain of Solana. You can verify them through Solana. Satoshi art is backed by Ethereum. You can verify it with Ethereum. It's worth 0.1 Ethereum.
So you're talking about the NFTs
about it being wrapped.
Yeah, excuse me. The NFT being wrapped in the
okay, that are actually on the blockchain.
Yeah,
correct.
So you know how you have like DraftKings, their NFTs are actually wrapped in the poly, right? So Tory Lanez isn't wrapped in anything. So my question would be to you, how do you decipher between the two? And is the one say we're buying the artist's name that's just about, a famous artist, are those even worth the buy? If you understand what I'm trying to say.
Right. I would say certainly they can be worth the buy because what I mentioned earlier, some of these the biggest names right now, celebrities, the music artists, the athletes, they are launching their own NFT, but on their site, they're also accepting US dollars to make it easier for people to get in. However, those are still NFTs. For example, Tory Lanez NFT, if the website was working that it's launched on, you can send those NFTs to an external cryptocurrency wallet, which is demonstrating that it is in fact on the actual blockchain, and you can track that history. So although they might have accepted US dollars or crypto during that launch, that was just a step to make it easier for the community to participate, but it is still on the blockchain. I believe the Messi NFT launch, I think they did allow some US dollar payments, if I'm not mistaken. But again, that was still on the blockchain. And yeah, I even transfer that over to my OpenSea account and was able to make a sale there for it. Yeah.
I don't want to, did anybody else have something? Because I was about to, okay. Okay, so when you're looking into NFTs, when you're researching them, I know you're looking for, you just said, whether somebody's involved, whether somebody is, just basically, who they are, you can kind of like put a face with it and all of that. And besides, set aside from you going on Rarible to kind of sort of rate that NFT, is there anything else that you're looking into? Is there anything else that you're looking at?
Yeah, there's so many different things. Like one is obviously on the surface level, is just looking at their website. Does it look professionally made or does it look just slapped together? Okay. And then outside of that, the community. The community is going to be massive. And the community is not going to be critical for every single project necessarily. For example, I created the crypto audit checklist, which is just an ebook. I didn't really need to create a community around it because I was just offering an alternative payment method. So on my website, you can pay in US dollars or you can go on to my Rarible profile and you can pay in crypto to get the same products. So that doesn't really require a community, but for something that's art-based, typically I am going to investigate that community. First thing is Discord. Every NFT project that needs to build a community is probably going to be doing that on Discord. So you need to get in that community. And I always like to check the announcement channel. You check those announcement channels and you can see, okay, how many people are actually reacting to these announcements? How many people are in the Discord? And I want to be looking for that to see what's going on. Are people actually engaged in the general chat section? Are people talking about the project, why they like it, why they want to hold it? And then you also want to check their Twitter account. That's going to be a major one. I think it's less important than their Discord, but it's still one I'm going to be checking. And I want to see how soon before they launch did they actually start marketing it. Are they launching today and started marketing yesterday? Red flag. But if they're doing it for at least a week or two, ideally longer, that's probably a good sign that people are legit. You always want to be investigating their communities and what people are saying about them. And take celebrity endorsements with a grain of salt because they can be paid. And there's the big Instagram account at NFT and NFT News. And those accounts can be paid for promo posts about the project. When you see it on one of those big Instagram accounts, it doesn't always mean that this is a project worth getting into. And you won't always know whether that was paid or not.
Okay, so we got a question in the chat. They said, what is the best place for steps to create an NFT? I was going to get there, but they went ahead and asked it.
For steps on creating an NFT, I'll tell you this. The creation process of an NFT is actually incredibly easy. It's as simple as listing something on Facebook Marketplace or on eBay or on Craigslist. It's just a very step-by-step guide. But I'll tell you this. If you go to jaredtross.com/Gemini, I have a free masterclass where it takes you through the entire process of creating an NFT.
And can you say it one more time, Jared?
Yes, it's jaredtross, my name, .com/Gemini.
And guys, if you're not following him, you can follow him on his Instagram page. And his name is Jared T. Ross on his Instagram page. And in his link tree, he has all of that information in there. And you can also shoot him a text message and not be like me and text the wrong thing, but I eventually got it right. And you can text him and he give you updates. He give you projects that he's looking at and all of that. And also, D'Angelo asked, he said, what NFT projects are you looking into coming onto the Cardano blockchain?
I'm not actually looking at the Cardano blockchain right now. I'm focused mostly on the Ethereum blockchain because that's where the most volume is, and that's where I think the most exciting projects are. But I do plan on looking at Solana and Cardano, and there is a website. Let me see if I can find it where you can find upcoming Cardano NFT drops. And I will, I found it here. It's WENCNFT.com, and I'll post that in the Facebook Live.
Sure,
okay,
thank you.
Appreciate you for that.
So I guess that leads to my next question. I know that you said you're looking at mostly Ethereum um, based NFTs. Could you give us the reason? I guess, like you said, the volume, and you feel like those are the most exciting projects. But what is one project that you think that a lot of people are overlooking at this point?
One project that I think people are overlooking on the Ethereum blockchain is, I want to say Moon Boys, but I feel like they already have so much hype around them, but I still think they're underrated because those founders, oh my gosh, the team behind it, they're so engaged. Right before this call, I was on a voice chat with them where they were just taking questions from the whole community. And they're really not afraid to get their hands dirty and interact with the community. So that's one thing I really love about Moon Boys. And Moon Boys, by the way, is spelled with a Z. So if you look that up, you're probably going to find them. Another project that I'm looking at, whose art I just fell in love with, like I love the attention to detail, Project Yours, and yours is spelled U-R-S. Project Yours, U-R-S. And I really like the detail that went into that project, and it is launching next few days as well. I've been paying less attention to that because I want to put more of my money into Moon Boys, but that's also a project I'm very excited about and I think was underrated.
So now, I guess the question a lot of people is like, okay, so I get these NFTs. How do I make money from them? What are they worth? And I always like to equate my answer to is you have these, the 1% that collect art. So now they have digital art. What is your reasoning, or what do you think makes these NFTs, worthy, or how do we make money off of?
How do you make money? Well, it's always best to get in early. When you get into a project early, you're typically going to go to their website and directly buy it there. And then on the secondary market, you're typically going to end up on OpenSea where you can buy and sell it. So once you get one of those NFTs into your possession, you can have the choice of selling it immediately and make a little bit of profit, maybe $200, $300. Or you can hold on to it for a little bit while that roadmap develops. And then as people gain more interest in the project, the perceived value is going to go up and you can raise your price. Like Bored Ape Yacht Club, it took them a few months before they actually got the attention that they now have. So they're kind of old. They're not very new. And so it took them some time for that roadmap that was listed on their website to develop and start gaining more interest. So if you can, and this is typically my approach, is buy 2 or 3 when the project first launches. Buy 2 or 3 copies. If you want, go ahead, boom, sell one immediately to make a little bit of money. But I'm typically going to recommend hold on to it. Now, when you're buying and selling NFTs, you don't really have to, when you're trying to flip them, you don't necessarily have to do too much marketing. When you list it on a site like OpenSea, people are organically going to find it if your price is reasonable.
So we got another question. Would you suggest retail investors to purchase NFTs on alternative blockchains because of the Ethereum gas fees?
Oh, we should just eat that fee.
I've been eating it.
We have to.
And it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. I'll tell you that.
It really sucks.
So I guess I got a question for you. And this is going to be, I'm going to kind of go deep into it. So if you look at Ethereum, right, has the infinity max supply. You look at Solana, I think it's sitting somewhere around about 490 million max supply. And I may be a little off on that. The gas fees are way cheaper over there at Solana.
Yeah.
So do you think that will make Solana have an advantage? Or does that make, or like, I'm trying to compare it to where, how when something's easy to get, it's not so, exclusive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or as far as,
it's not more valuable.
Right.
It's so easy to get.
So do you think since Solonas are so easy to get, the fees are low, does that make it lose its value based off of Ethereum, where it's pretty much the all tell all of everything, right? Because Ethereum was the first to do it, right? So do you think Ethereum just gains that value just because of what it's been doing and how long it's been here? or do you think that Solana can really, you know what I'm saying,
Keep up with it.
keep up with it? And that's just an example. Like,
I think Solana is definitely going to be a big competitor, but what they need is a platform like OpenSea, that secondary market, which is incredibly user friendly and allows that reselling opportunity to be seamless. So if we can get to a point where Solana has something like that, I think they're going to draw in a whole lot more people. But the Ethereum side of things, people are going to be there because those whales who have a lot of money, they don't care about those gas fees at all. They'll just go right there. So there's definitely still going to be a market, and I think Ethereum will be around in the NFT space for the long run.
So how do you best navigate around Ethereum gas fees? Well, he just said he just eat it. Well, how do you best navigate around Ethereum gas fees when buying and selling NFTs?
Or is there a way?
Right. You can strategize by the time of day that you're trying to access the Ethereum blockchain. So, like, if you're really serious, you might have to wake up at 3 a.m. and go buy that NFT that you want. Yeah. Exactly.
As if it's left.
Yeah.
As if it's still there.
Yeah.
It really just depends. It depends on the time of day and how heavily used the blockchain is at the time. And you can get like little Google Chrome extensions that will in real time keep you updated on the gas fee. So you can always just like check that, see if it's low enough for your liking.
Yeah. I think Mood is about to say something. My bad, Mood.
No, you're good. So I believe NFTs are very innovative. I think is going to disrupt the market, but how disruptive do you think that it is, right? So I believe in cryptocurrency, right? And let's say the crypto enthusiasts, they believe in a crypto as well. What is going to make NFT stay? I understand the passive income that you can make from it. I understand it being wrapped in crypto, and as people want to trade it or sell it or buy it, there's going to be value in it. But have you thought about like, what if people don't want to collect these things, right? Because I know a lot of people like tangible things like a real basketball card, baseball card. How long do you think that it will take for this to explode? I don't feel like it may take too long. I want to know your thoughts, because I know, with AR being in place right now, is going to be a great use case for it. So what are your thoughts on behind that?
NFTs are definitely here to stay. They're here to stay. And I think the gaming world is going to be one of those accelerators for the whole space. Mm-hmm. Have y'all seen the movie Ready Player One that I mentioned earlier?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
that's all Morris talks about.
I'm on it.
And if any of the audience members have not seen that, that's your homework to go watch that movie, and you'll start noticing how NFTs can play a role. Because when you watch that, it's this virtual reality game. You put your headset on and you're totally immersed. You can wear the full body suit where you can feel the things that are happening in the game. But what you'll notice is that there's certain weapons, there's certain vehicles and clothes. Those are all going to be NFTs. And you can buy and sell them, you can trade them, you can bring them to other parts of the game. Those are NFTs. And in the gaming world, when we think of how you can purchase in-game products and have these wearables, typically you can't purchase an in-game item from like the in-game store and then sell it to another player. But with NFTs, you absolutely can. It creates that secondary market for those in-game add-ons and will increase that revenue for the creators of the game, because they'll get that royalty percentage. So video games are going to be a huge accelerator for the space of NFTs. But more than that, NFTs are going to be a wealth vehicle to pass down generational wealth. When we think of Michael Jackson, for example, imagine if he had an NFT of one of his songs. That could literally, even if it's not in his possession, because it would be on the secondary market, people buying and selling it. But when he created that NFT, his wallet address was encoded into it. And so he's getting a percentage that he got to set. He would get a percentage that would go to his cryptocurrency wallet. And so now he could pass that down to generations, to his family estate. And so that could continue to bring them that passive income that you were just mentioning.
So it's just like everybody owning a piece of his masters by buying the NFT of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That makes sense. So what about, have you ever heard of the Meta Hero?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what do you think about that project?
Seems like a really, really interesting. And they are having a game, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I think that's a really good move. I haven't dove in deep into it because I've been focused on all these other projects, but that one definitely does excite me, and I think they're doing a lot of things right with integrating that gameplay.
And have you
So
heard of Our Planet?
Say it again.
Have you heard of Our Planet?
No.
At least if you want to elaborate on that and bring it to his attention.
oh well, our planet is trying to see if we had more questions in the chat. We did not. Okay, yeah. So our planet is you basically you're gonna you got elements, you got rigs, you got things that you can try to create a game with or trying to build stuff with. Like you can have a vegetable or you can have a gun or pencil, whatever, to try to make things with. And you're just combining them together to try to do it, but you're earning money in the income. I mean, in the while you're doing it, and then you're also you can have your kids playing certain games to gain income from collecting certain things as well. And it's giving you like it's you're playing the game and the things that you're accumulating is giving you Aether tokens, but you can convert those Aether tokens into wax tokens, and you know about wax, and wax isn't going anywhere. So it's a great way to create more passive income for anybody that's looking at passive income. Right now it's probably be a great time to get in because the Aether price has dropped so low. But that's because they're in the process of rebuilding another game, and they have a lot of other things that's going on. And the community is great, like just like how Moon Boys, how they are and how they update you with everything, and how they're talking to you. They have calls and their discords and everything. So yeah, our plan is pretty dope.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty amazing because you buy these NFTs, right? Whether they're rigs or elements, or like Elise was mentioning, that you can buy a plant. You can create money out of it. It's just by crafting other elements together. But the amazing thing about it is once you get them, you can own them, but you can also stake them on the platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when you start generating Aethers an hour, and it literally gives you Aethers an hour. So say if you get you an NFT that's giving you 50,000 Aethers an hour, you can go ahead and cash out and trade it into wax, but you can make it a passive income from making anywhere from 500 to 10,000 to $50,000 a month just by converting it back into wax. And I think it's a very great platform. I know Unbroken Mindsets talks about it a lot in the Discord, but I just wanted to be able to bring that to your attention as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into that because the play to earn games, those are going to start popping off more and more.
Yeah, and I'm with you with the gaming. I think that the NFTs are going to be surrounded by the gaming because, like you said, if you look at games like Axie Infinity, the Wax platform, these are people that's making money just by gaming. So I definitely think you're right with the NFTs. It's going to be big in the gaming world.
And also, we got a question. Have you heard of Rogue Sharks NFTs?
Nope.
No.
It's funny because the space is so big. Because like when you shot us the message about the Moonies, I was like,
Moon Boys?
Yeah, the Moon Boys. I was like, I ain't heard of this one yet. What we got here? You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely, and that leads into my next question. With so many NFTs coming out here, we know it's the wave. What are some red flags that you would look for to be like, okay, this is probably not going to be around for a while. This one right here may be around for a while. So what are some of the red flags in the NFT game that you look for?
The red flags is one, do they have a professional website? If it looks really shitty, probably not going to spend my time going further than that. Then I'm going to check that Discord. If there's little to no engagement, probably going to leave that. Now, a tricky part is looking at how many members they have, because you might get there when it's very, very early and there's only 500, 2,000 members. And then I'm a little hesitant, and depending on if I really like the art of the project, I'll stay and I'll see if it grows. But if they're launching in like 2 days and they have 800 people in there, probably not going to spend my time there. So investigating that Discord, and it takes some time to build that discernment as you go through. So I do recommend just get into some projects. Don't buy into them, but get into their Discords and communities and watch them. Make your predictions, write them down, and then see what happens a month from now. See if your prediction was right. So that's one way I'm going to be looking at these projects is, again, looking at their Discord. And then I wouldn't say it's a red flag, but I always like to see who the founders are. If the founders are hiding completely, it's going to make me hesitant.
Roku.
Yeah, Roku project. That's right.
I do have another question because I know you have a lot of skill sets, Jared. Have you ever developed a metaverse or are in position to be able to create a metaverse?
I haven't. I haven't. And by the way, when we're using metaverse in this context, you're talking about like an actual virtual world or virtual game, right?
Right.
Yeah, I haven't done that myself. I have a friend who is very, very interested and has the skill set and the financial means to do that. And we have been talking together about what this would look like. And we definitely want to emphasize being mobile friendly. But that is something we're looking into, but it's not at the top of my list of things to do right now.
Gotcha. I have another question. So what is your biggest, well, not biggest, what are you inspired to do in this space, not only in NFTs, but in this crypto journey that we're all in? What are some of your goals wanting to achieve in this crypto space?
I want as many people as possible, once they've gone through some of my content, to be able to go and create NFTs themselves, to be able to market them, and be able to integrate any line of business into them. Because that's the thing. Right now, we talk a lot about gaming and art. But again, any line of business can be integrated. I had a consultation a few days ago. Somebody was asking me, hey, how can I integrate my luxury car rental business into NFTs? On the surface, a lot of people would say, damn, I don't know. I don't think you can. But I gave them some ideas. One way is that you could have people just pay in cryptocurrency for their car rental by buying an NFT. The alternative, and this is the one that I like much better and that he liked much better, was actually creating an NFT car club. So he already has the luxury aspect because he rents luxury vehicles. So might as well make that more exclusive by saying, okay, if you want the right to rent from me, you have to buy an NFT, which serves as your membership into the NFT car club.
That's dope.
That's dope. That's like buying.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That's going to allow you, it's like, say, when you're buying certain shares in a company and they allow you to vote or allow you to do some other things inside of their company. I think that's pretty cool.
I like that. That's straight.
Yeah.
So also, I have a question, right? I have a friend, he's a photographer. And say he takes photographer of, pictures of certain football players or certain teams. Mm-hmm. What would be your advice to him if he has all these nice pictures that he can NFT? Will he run into any, I guess, lawsuits or licensing problems when it comes to that?
Could very well be come after by, if it's like football, the NFL could come after him. Now, if the project's small enough where it doesn't get that much attention, it might be okay. But I'm always going to recommend go ahead and edit out any branding or logos that you can. Get rid of them. Sometimes what you'll see is that NFL players, they'll create an NFT of themselves, right? They'll do a little player card. But you'll notice, unless they really got permission from the NFL, which I don't think they have, the logos and branding on the helmets, on the jersey, they're gone. There's no branding on there. So that's one thing that
look for that next time
is remove all that branding, and then you might be able to get away with that and be able to market that without being scared of someone coming after you.
Gotcha. So just use their colors, but not their logos or any of that stuff.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I don't want to tell you to trust me because I'm not a lawyer, but even colors could get you in trouble if they wanted to. Because some brands will have signature colors and they'll have like color codes. And if they match that color code,
you're right. And that was a big question that I have because he talks about it all the time. Like, man, I could just go take a picture of Deion Sanders right now and I can NFT it. And I used to be like, no, I don't think it's going to be that easy, but you'll make some money, but you probably going to have to give them some money on the top. So I said, if you're going to do stuff like that, you might as well go ahead and just reach out into the person ahead of time just to go ahead and get ahead of it. So, hey, I want to sell this NFT of you. What do you think? And just ask for a percentage of it. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. That's what I kind of figured you'll have to do.
Yeah, that would be a safer route.
Well, I know what's his name? Nigel was just asking me about that as well. Because
That's what I
he is
was thinking
actually
about.
yeah, he's actually he's out there in California, San Francisco, and he works for them, and he does photography work as well, and we just had a conversation about this, so I'm definitely gonna have to plug him in and let him know you better
just be careful with
be
that.
careful with that.
Yeah, I'm moving back to San Francisco this weekend.
Oh, that's what's
Oh,
up.
really?
Yeah,
Where you at now?
I'm in Dallas right now.
Dallas. Okay.
And you leaving the great state of Texas?
The great state.
I'm coming back though. I'm coming back.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah. So if people are trying to, I know you got your master class and you kind of like break it down on how they can go about creating the NFT. What if they're trying to get a little bit deeper? Like if they're trying to go all out. Like this is what they're really trying to do. They've been researching it. They're just trying to, what would you recommend? How would you recommend it? Do you offer like mentorships, one-on-ones for the people that have been asking?
Yeah, I do have one-on-one consultations that I offer. And if you want to get into that, you can just text me at 214-466-1640. I'll put this in the Facebook chat, and y'all can just hit me up on Instagram as well. But y'all can just hit me up and say that you're interested in setting up a consultation. And basically what we'll go through.
He does respond, guys. He does respond on his Instagram page. So even if you write him in his Instagram, he will respond to you and get right back to you right away.
Right. So I do offer one-on-one consultations where we can go into what an NFT is, why people value them, how to create them, how to sell them, how to find these projects early, and then how to flip them, and any other NFT questions that you may have along the way. In every consultation, you get a free copy of my crypto audit checklist, and you get the recording of our session so that you can rewatch that.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. So I guess for me, I've never really been into like the NFT space like that. I got into it because my husband was like always just so deep into it. And I started looking, I'm like, dang, you can get this from this? People going crazy over this little picture? Like, it looks like this is nothing. And then the more and more you research it, the more and more you get into it, I'm like, this is crazy. I mean, every project is different. Every project is insane. So for me, I'm just trying to find my lane on what I'm really, because it's so many. And I don't know. It's just too many. Like, I don't know if I want to just be on this blockchain. I don't know if I want to be over here. I don't know if I want to be over here. Yeah. It's just so many. So
is there like something that you just stay away from?
Yeah, is it something that you would stay away from? Like, what is your absolute favorite, or like a person that's really trying to find their way in this space and try to figure out which way they should be going? What would you recommend?
I would say do not try to play catch up, because what we see a lot right now is that you'll have a project like the Bored Ape Yacht Club that has all this media attention, but then you have other people who try to create spin-off versions, right? And it'll be like close cousins of the original project. CryptoPunks has a lot of these, where they'll have all these different types of punks. Now, what people what's happening is they'll see these massive prices for the CryptoPunks, and then they'll see like fast food CryptoPunks, and they're like, oh shit, it's just like CryptoPunks. And then they try to get into start buying them. That's not always gonna work out for you. And if you actually like that art, okay, fine, get into it. It might be worth it. But don't go and start spending a lot of money thinking this thing is going to 10x for you, okay? Don't try to play catch up by getting into these spin-off versions of these projects, unless that spin-off is from the actual original creators of that initial project. Then it might make sense to get in when it's closely tied. Like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, they created their own derivative of the mutant apes. So they had the same monkeys, but they were all like mutated and grotesque. And those were official and linked to the actual Bored Ape Yacht Club. Those weren't some spinoff by some random person who wasn't affiliated. That would make sense to get into. I was going to get into it, but the gas fee was like $1,000. So I said, I'm gonna sit this one out.
Yeah, I feel that's a lot.
I'm trying to say. So let me ask you this question. I know a lot of people they know, but they probably don't know how you do it. Is there a way that you set this up? So if you're creating an NFT and you're trying to make the money off the royalties, right? Is there something different that you do, or is there like when you're creating it, is it something that is asking you, or what?
Right. So you have the option if you want to go really deep into it, and I haven't even done this myself. But if you want to go and get somebody who's a developer who can actually code your smart contract for you, you can set that royalty percentage, right? And a smart contract is just the behind the scenes content and coding that actually puts your image or your media onto the blockchain. But if it uses a website like OpenSea or Rarible, you can just go through their creation process, just step by step, fill in your details, and it's going to ask you what royalty percentage do you want. And that royalty percentage is saying, oh, if I set it at 10%, that means on every secondary transaction, when people are selling it to each other, I'm still going to get that 10%, no matter how much it sells for. So if I sell an NFT today for $100 to you, and then 10 years you sell it for $1 million, I'm going to get 10% of that $1 million.
Mm.
And that just happens forever and ever and ever, which is why this is so powerful for creators.
So it's just gonna drop into your wallet in whatever that NFT is wrapped in. So if it's wrapped in Ethereum, you just so happen to have a 10% of $1 million in your Ethereum wallet. Okay, I like that.
Now if you lose access to that wallet, then you out of luck.
Yeah.
No keys, no cheese.
That is. Go ahead, Moody.
I was gonna ask, like, how long have you been in the crypto space and as well as the NFT space, and how did you get introduced into this NFT space?
So I'll start by talking about when I first got into crypto, and that was when I was in high school in 2017. There was all this hype building around it, and I got in like a goofball, and then took an L at the beginning of 2018 where we had that big dip. And so that was my first lesson, but I didn't let that turn it away from me, because I was competent in understanding what was happening. I was young enough where I could wrap my mind around it, and it wasn't too vastly different from what the world has already been doing. So I started getting my understanding in crypto then, but I'm not going to pretend like I've been really studying it since 2017, because I haven't. I took that L and I just kept my crypto in there and would look at it every now and then, but I didn't really start studying and learning it until earlier this year. And then in the NFT space, I heard about it last year, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I was like, okay, cool. But at the top of this year, that's when I really started paying more attention. And what's allowed me to go so fast in understanding it was, one, my prior knowledge of the blockchain. But then I didn't argue with NFTs. A lot of people, they'll see NFTs and they'll start arguing. They'll be like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. This is a scam. It's just a picture. I can just take a screenshot. I didn't argue. And that saved me so much time and allowed me to go so much faster. I said, okay, I don't necessarily understand this, but obviously something's going on here. So I just kept learning more and more and more until it clicked. And then it made so much sense. So that's one thing that allowed me to go fast in the space, was not arguing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Being open-minded. Yeah.
Being open-minded. Yeah.
You allow yourself to learn.
It's a question. It said, do they have to be owned by you to add the royalties, or can you add that to any that you own? Yeah.
Oh, I'm saying you have to be the creator.
Yeah.
You got to be the creator. Now, there are cases where some NFT projects, once you buy it, you didn't create it. If you hold on to it, depending on how that creator has it set up, you may be eligible to receive some royalties, and you may get a percentage of future sales. That might happen, but it always depends on that project.
So hearing you say that, so if one is developing a cryptocurrency, right, and is getting into the NFT space and has some type of knowledge, or has all the knowledge to create a smart contract, they can basically create some NFTs and help other people create passive income if they implement that into their smart contract and promote it that way, correct?
Right.
For sure.
That's dope.
Oh, he said, D'Angelo answered it. You have to name it again. Okay, he answered it. No keys, no cheese. You're absolutely right about that. Somebody put your information up in here as well. And I put it in there too. Okay, I was just trying to make sure we didn't have anybody else that we had to catch up. Quiet and Dundee, I don't want to act like we taking over. Y'all have any questions that y'all want to ask? I know Dundee
No,
probably got a
on my
lot.
end, you guys have been asking all the questions that I had. One thing I wonder is, like, in general, and I know there's no like right answer to this because no one can predict the future, but like, what does this look like in 10 years? What does the NFT space look like in 10 years?
I think gaming again will be some of the biggest portions of the mass adoption of them. Gaming is going to be a huge factor, and the people who are getting in now are going to be so far ahead. Well, let me not say getting in now, but understanding now.
Yeah.
Those are the ones who are going to be leagues ahead. Because right now, what we see is all these influencers are getting in, launching their own NFTs, but most of them don't really understand the space. So it's not necessarily about being first right now. It's about having the best understanding first. And once you do that, then you'll be in a better position to play your cards right in the future. So I'm just trying to collect a lot of NFTs that I actually like to look at, or projects that I believe in and think will go up in value. So I would say start accumulating your NFTs now before stuff gets more and more expensive.
And I would also, it's a question, but it's also a statement. From what I'm developing from this conversation is like for an upcoming artist that doesn't have a huge fan base, right? Maybe they may have an occult following, but maybe like 5,000 people are following them and are buying into their projects. You're recommending them to learn more about the space, right? Because you also have to keep in mind that if you create an NFT of yourself or for your music, you have to have a fan base to sell this to, right? Because if nobody knows you, like let's say you and I create an NFT, how is it like we can promote it, we can put it out there, but who are going to be the consumers of that NFT, correct?
Right. And that's really the hardest part is marketing. The creation process is the easy part of an NFT. The hardest part is marketing it.
Gotcha.
What platform can you mint NFTs to implement royalties in the mint? It's a question in the chat.
Yeah, there's a handful of them. My recommendations for new people are always going to be Rarible and OpenSea, and I'll put that in the Facebook comments right now.
Thank you.
There we
Yeah, this was up, man. Dropping some good knowledge. Everybody's getting a little more understanding, of NFTs. And once again, he does consultations. So if you want to get into more of the intricacies of NFTs, man, holla at Jared T. Ross, set up your consultation, and he's gonna break it all the way down for you how you can set yourself up in this NFT game. Now, this leads to my next question. And I know that you said you're not so familiar with Solana.
Right.
All right. So have you heard of the platform on Solana? It's called Audius. And
that's for music, right?
Yeah. So tell me what you think about that one. And do you think that is worth a long-term hold? Because honestly, when I look at it, I kind of look at it almost like a crypto title or a crypto Spotify, crypto Pandora. That's what I kind of look at it as. So
That's been my understanding as well. But I'll tell you this, I haven't done research on it, but I've been paying attention to it. Like I know people who I trust their judgment, and I've been looking at them and they're getting into it. So it certainly captured my attention, and it is worth something that I am going to actually invest my time in to understand more about. But it's definitely interesting. I would encourage everyone to spend some time thinking about it, as well as myself. But I can't tell you if it's going to be something long term for sure, because I haven't looked at that myself.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a platform we've been following for a while, and it was I think we might have came across it when it was like maybe 35 cents, and now it's sitting at $2. So I'm like, yeah, it's growing. You know what I mean? So I definitely think I'm not gonna lie. Between Moody and D'Angelo, they're making me really just look into that Solana blockchain so much harder than what I was when I first came across it. But I definitely like that some of the stuff that they're producing over there. Now, I guess, and this is why we reached out to you, is to gain an understanding on, what would classify as a good project. So I'm definitely going to be looking for those little tidbits next time I look at their stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I do have one question. Give me your top 5 or top 3 NFT projects right now. I know Moon Boys is up in there, so give me some other ones.
You can't say just Moon Boys because we
All right,
know.
all right.
And on top of that, I want to throw in, can you tell us your top 5 cryptocurrencies?
Okay.
No Bitcoin, no Ethereum.
Yeah. Give us something we don't know. Yeah. You might throw a little gem out there for us.
Okay, so I'm gonna start on the NFT side. There is a project called City DAO, and what this project is doing is they're taking lands. They bought physical land in Wyoming, and what they're doing is they're putting it on blockchain as NFTs. And people who buy in to these NFTs, they will have voting rights on how that land is going to be used and distributed, and they'll have first dibs when that land is available for sale.
I like digital real estate.
I know we like digital real estate.
Yeah,
So
I like that. And is that City DAO, DOW?
Yes. No. DAO. DAO stands for decentralized. Yeah. Decentralized autonomous organization.
Gotcha. I'm definitely looking at that one.
So that's an NFT that I have. And you know what? I'm actually I'm gonna post
DAO.
DAO, that's right. And I put my my OpenSea link inside the Facebook chat, and you can just go to my OpenSea account and you can see everything inside my wallet. Yeah. So right there, you'll see that I have the City DAO NFT. And then another project that I'm really excited about is Afro Droids. One, I really appreciated the effort that went into the art. And two, already I think on launch day they gave 500,000 a nonprofit organization in Africa. I think it might have been Kenya.
You said Afro Droids.
I think I seen you post something on that. I think I seen you post something on that one. So I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's another one that's been really, really exciting to me. And I'm excited to see how that grows and develops. Outside of that, I am in the Canine Cartel. So that's another NFT project. I just think they have cool marketing behind it. So I'm interested to see where that goes. There hasn't been too much motion going on with it lately, but it's still very, very early in its process.
You said the Canine Cartel?
Canine Cartel. Yep. Yeah. Then yeah. And then the next one would probably be Mechaverse. That's
I see you talking about that as well. And I looked into it. Yeah. I see you talking about that one.
Yeah. Mechaverse seems really cool. I don't know if they've launched yet because Moon Boys has had my full undivided attention, honestly.
And Moon Boys, they launch in two days or
what they're doing is they're really working hard to avoid a gas war. And so they're kind of going to call an audible. They're going to give us a heads up when they launch, but they haven't set a firm date. They initially had, but they started getting so much attention that they were scared about bots coming in, about whales coming in and taking advantage and just buying up way too many. And they want to have enough people who are holders of the NFTs. So they're kind of doing it ad hoc and just calling an audible once they get that contract finalized, because they had to make some edits to it to protect themselves.
So can you explain to the people in the chat how they go about getting Moon Boys for the people that don't know?
Short answer is you want to go to moon-boys with a Z.com. And then read through the website first, make sure you're interested in it. And then in the top right corner, you should see a link to their Discord. Join the Discord. And by the way, the Discord link is also in my Instagram bio, if that's easier for people. But join the Discord and then read through the announcements. what people are doing now is they join and go right to the chat, start asking all the questions that are already answered in the announcements. But get inside that Discord, read through the announcements, and then you'll start getting some context as far as what is going on. But you will have to put in some work in order to get a Moon Boy because there is so much demand for it right now. They're putting people on a whitelist in order to get access to help avoid those bots. So it is going to be a lot more challenging. I'm pretty much already secured for the contributions that I've made.
Of course
we
you
know
are.
we're secured.
Of course you are. Yeah, I might have to come through you to try to
give us the inside scoop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And by the way, just let me go and get one from. Let me buy one. You know, I mean,
you know what though? I want to give y'all a cheat code on really. If you find an NFT project before they launch, a lot of times they're going to have these giveaways and these opportunities for people who are uniquely creative or unusually engaged, not spamming, but really engaged in the community. And you can get free stuff. You might get early access. You might just get a free NFT. I'm getting both in the Moon Boys because of some contributions that I made. One, and you can find this, excuse me, inside the Discord. But one is I created like the iconic Marvel intro. Where they do all the like flashing images and the fade out and everything. So I made one of those, but for Moon Boys. So I made this little edit. And they really like that. That got me early access. And then I made a Time cover magazine featuring Moon Boys. And then that got me a free NFT. So I will be getting that once they launch. But being really creative, somebody else, they made a freestyle about Moon Boys, and now they're getting a free NFT. But if you bring some type of unusual creativity or passion to the group, there's a good chance if you get seen that you'll be able to get something additional. And maybe that's early access, or maybe it's just a free NFT.
Sure, man. Yeah. Thank you, man.
I think it's too late for us to try to get that.
Bring it into the Discord.
What's that?
Did you follow any instructions, or did you just create it and bring it into the Discord?
Exactly. I just created it and brought it into the Discord. You got to have that initiative to make it happen.
Congratulations.
Sure. Yeah, that was definitely dope. Yeah, man. I just want to thank you for your time.
I want to try to create something for Moon Boys.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. We're trying to come up with something to create now.
We can like probably try to sing a song or something.
Yeah, make a beat.
Probably over with now. They already gave everybody early access. They're gonna give it to, and all
right. Yeah, we just gonna be waiting in line.
40,000, 50,000 people in that Discord.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, man.
Hey, check this out. If you guys think of an idea, I'll have my brother-in-law draw it up.
There it is.
See? Yeah, I forgot. His brother-in-law is a great artist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, maybe Jared gonna have to give us an idea. Just do it this way, and this will probably get you early access.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We definitely have to kidnap you for the weekend, Jared.
Yeah. We're definitely gonna keep in touch with you, man. We definitely want to keep this ongoing because it might be some things that we can help with, or some things that you can help us with. So we definitely want to keep this ongoing. I definitely want to thank you for your time and taking out your time to talk to us and some of the people in our community to inform them on what NFTs are and the possibilities and where you think it's going. So I just want to thank you for that as well.